Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we are checking out the newest wave currently that is out as far as the Mattel Jurassic World minifigures. There is another wave that has been teased that includes a Dreadnoughtus, but that wave has not actually released quite yet, to my knowledge. So we have the newest wave out as far as I am aware at this point, and you can see the packaging is pretty cool. Basically is a nice shot here of two different Atrociraptors, and then we've of course got the MINIS logo and then Jurassic World up there on the top. And if we actually go ahead and check out the rest of the box, you can see the rest of the box is pretty much the standard box from Mattel. But up here on the top of the box, you can basically see the entire wave as a whole and all of the figures that are included in this wave, which there's not a whole lot new in this wave. For the most part, it's pretty much the stuff that we've had through the course of the line, except for these two up here are the two newest sets, and that should be what we have contained within these boxes. So let's pop the boxes open. I'm actually going to cut the tape here on the end so that we can open the box a little bit easier. And once we pull the box out, we can now see what we've got inside. Man, it's really exciting to have new minis from Mattel. We don't always get new minis from Mattel, so definitely excited to have at least some here. Whoops, I dropped the box. So we also have the little slip that's contained within. And then of course we've got our other box, which contains, yes, the other two that are out. So I actually got these thanks to my good buddy Plush Boy Q, who was super cool and snagged a set for me of the newest minis. And again, I have to of course say thank you to him for his generosity as always, helping me to get the newest minis into my collection. And we can now see, if we bring them all over here and reposition them, which species we've got. Also, before we even actually go and take a closer look at those guys, we can open this slip, and again on the inside of the slip you basically have like the checklist here where you can see everything that is included in this wave of figures, which we can see quite a few super nice minis. I wish they would just at this point release an entire new wave of minis though. We seem to just always get a few new minis and then a whole bunch of repeats. But if we go ahead and begin with the first mini, you can see it is the Mapusaurus, and this one actually looks pretty darn cool overall. One thing I notice instantly about this mini is it has that same very reptilian, very vibrant scale detail that you see on the mainline version here on the mini. We also have, even though the mini is like the Epic Evolution version and it has those spikes kind of pop up out of the back, you can see this one does still feature that look. We can also see that through the body it does have those very large bumpy sort of osteoderms and stuff, almost like an armored look to the dinosaur. We also have some eye paint with like a kind of looks like a yellowish tone. It's hard to really tell because it's so incredibly small. Like you can see the head there within my finger, which conveniently, although this one is small, it's actually the largest of this group of minis. But you can see the skin texture in the face looks pretty nice. We have a very dark tone, kind of looks like a dark bluish tone here that starts out in the face, and then you have like a tan for the lower jaw. The mouth is sculpted in an open position, and look how good the teeth actually look on this. That's pretty exciting actually, because a lot of the time the teeth look kind of jumbled on these minis, but I think the teeth actually look really good on this version. But as you lead back, you start to see that light tone run from the lower jaw and then pattern through the neck and then down into the stomach region, also kind of speckling out there into the thigh, which looks really cool. The dinosaur is currently in the process of taking a step as the left leg is just kind of leading forward a little bit. The opposing leg there kind of trailing. You have a little bit of a curve to the tail right there. No other coloration though through the course of the figure outside of that light tone, and then again the dark tone for the primary body color and that light eye. But that is a super nice mini. We also have, although I just kind of split the two up, we have the Hesperosaurus here, which is super nice to see in minifigure form as well. Like, definitely excited about this one because I didn't expect to see this species in the minifigure line, but definitely happy to see it here. But we can see again that it looks pretty close to the way that the larger version does. We basically have like a light green that moves along the back of the dinosaur, along the plates, and then a darker green, but still not very dark, but a darker green for the primary body color. Kind of looks like maybe we have eye paint Yeah, it kind of looks like there's like a little spot for the eye, but it's so incredibly small. Like, now the head sculpt is really tiny within my finger. But the detailing throughout also looks pretty nice. The skin texture looks nice and vibrant overall. You again have the thagomizers out here at the end of the tail. There is a speckling as you move through the course of this figure as well. Obviously, not all of the plates have been given that greenish tone, as some of the plates that start up here don't have it, but the rest of them do, but the green tone basically overtakes the back as well. Not really the greatest one as far as the paintwork or anything, or the paint scheme goes. I think it's kind of generic, but this would definitely be a fun one to repaint, and I've actually been really wanting to get a hold of some more of these minis. It's been so long since I did a repaint video, so for the minis anyway, so I definitely want to at some point again soon. But we also have the Irritator in here, and how sweet is this figure looking? Super, super tiny, definitely smaller than I expected it to be, but man, is that ever a nice looking figure. We have a dark tone for the primary body color, and then you have this lighter brown, which looks pretty cool. You can also see the lighter brown was used for the paintwork there, I think, of the eye. Yeah, it definitely looks like it was meant to be the paintwork of the eye, but that leads back through the course of the body all the way into the hip region, of course, and then disappears because that's usually where the alternate tone of color on a Mattel figure runs to. But overall, again, the sculpt is extremely vibrant. You can see really nice reptilian scale detail on this one as well. And also, again, some osteoderms and stuff poking up here and there. You still have that kind of like paddle-like look almost to the tail out there with the slight sail moving along the back. A little extra skin hanging there in the throat. And the dinosaur has its mouth sculpted in a closed position, but we can see the teeth, kind of interlocking teeth on the figure, which looks really nice. Again, I think these figures are so incredibly well done and would look fantastic with a repaint. There isn't really anything else going on as far as this one goes, though. I really feel like even though I really want to paint some of these, it's going to be an impressive challenge for me to do so because they're even smaller than the older minis were. Like, the older minis were actually quite a bit larger than the new minis are, so it would definitely be rough to do so, but I'm definitely considering it. And then we have the Monolophosaurus as the final new entry into the minifigure line from Mattel, and this one as well looks gorgeous. I feel like it somehow looks even better than the actual mainline figures do, probably because the teeth don't look obnoxiously huge, like they look fairly proportionate to the way they should, which is a massive improvement on the mini over the mainline figures. But there's not really a whole lot when it comes to coloration on this one, as we basically just have like a really dark tone of color and then a light green that kind of just like squiggles its way through the body. You can see again how nice the figure looks from over on this side. I would honestly say that this might be the best Monolophosaurus that Mattel has released overall because it's the least awkward looking of the bunch, and again, really, really impressive sculpt. Like, when you look at that scale detail, my camera doesn't want to focus too well on it, but man, is that ever nicely done. This would definitely be a fun figure to apply a dark wash to, because it looks like it really has the type of scale detail that would allow a dark wash to kind of creep in and out of the scales. This one also, again, is in a walking pose, as it's got one leg forward. We also have a nice curvature, you know, to the tail here going on as you lead out. You also have a line of ridges following along the spinal column as well. Seem to get a little bit bigger in the neck and in the tail area. But again, not a whole lot when it comes to coloration, but pretty much, you know, as you would expect when it comes to a Mattel minifigure. So that's really about it. I don't know that we really need to do any comparisons or anything like that, trying to get them standing here again, because they aren't the most stable apparently. But there we go. We've got a little bit of a better view of them all. But you can see again, four, again, brand new incredible minis, really nicely sculpted, fairly decently painted, pretty much what you would expect when it comes to a Mattel minifigure in paint. And again, of course, it could always be better, but that's just the way that these figures usually are when it comes to their paintwork. They're usually fairly lackluster, but I think they look nice overall as far as what we've been given. And again, four brand new incredible species to add to our minifigure collections. So if you are interested, you can head to Walmart, because that is where people are finding them. You know, that's your most, I would say, obvious place to find them. And maybe, I think they are showing up at Kroger potentially, if I'm not too mistaken, but definitely Walmart for sure. So check that store again. If they're not there now, they should be soon. And of course, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.